Welcome back to our second edition of our TechTalk format and our first live broadcast from our brand new studio here in our headquarters in Dresden to our second TechTalk from Saxony Trade and Invest. Why are we here today? We want to build a stage for leading edge technologies from Saxony, want to present their creators, the creative minds behind it, and want to show also the seedbed where these creative ideas could evolve and develop in Saxony. Why should you stay with us for the next 15 minutes, including a final Q&A session? We think it's worth it because today we are talking about an interesting technology that allows companies and its applicants to handle three aspects and challenges at once. One aspect is to save energy, very relevant. The second is to increase output, always relevant and has always been. And the third and also new aspect is to handle products that fit the needs of a future circular economy. My name is Andreas Lippert. I'm the head of the Inward Investment Department at Saxony Trade and Invest here in Dresden. But I'm not the main person today. The main person today is our special guest, Markus Stein. Markus, glad to see you again, that you are here with us today. And yeah, would be nice if you could also present yourself and the company in a couple of words.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. Very happy to be part of this interesting tech talk. My name is Markus Stein. I'm the CEO and also the founder of watttron. Yeah, watttron is a spin-off of the University of Dresden and also Fraunhofer. Founded by 3 colleagues and me 7 years ago already. In the meantime, we grow this company, this hardware company, to more than 85 people now, working in the area of packaging, building new ways on how to build packages, and this globally. And I think that's interesting, maybe to see also for others. Yeah.
When we met earlier this year to prepare also this Tech Talk format and we visited your premises, one could still feel, or I could personally feel, that there's still this kind of startup feeling, but also a kind of self-confidence that you know how the business works, that you have been successful already in the market. And you've brought with you a video that explains a bit how it was and how you managed to acquire a major customer, watttron, a big producer of groceries. And the video shows us a bit how you did it and how your technology gets involved into the production process. So let's have a look together.
Very much appreciated from an organoleptic point of view. The watttron system, in relation with the Green Deal target of 2025, allows us to offer recyclable spouted pouches and then adapt our technologies to enable delivery of these solutions in the future. In fact, the watttron system actually offers us the possibility to seal the whole squeezy in one step, both the spout and the film. And it also allows us to have an easily controllable temperature distribution. Another advantage of the system is that it allows us to retrofit our existing lines quite easily. In fact, we were able to integrate the system without having to change the heart of the machine. It's a very flexible system that allows us to switch to monomaterial without any problems. It's very positive and constructive, since the system we developed was new for them and for us. So we had to move forward in cooperation. Both companies learned how to use the system, how to improve it, especially on the automation aspect and the integration in our system. In my eyes, watttron is a very reactive company, which allowed us to move forward in a relatively short time with reliable technical solutions.
It was interesting to see such a large-scale production and how your product was included into the big machinery. What was the challenge to convince and finally also get it into a real business with such a major producer?
Yeah, of course. So we are really working in the nerve of such a producer, right? So these are the machines producing their products, and we built part of it. I think that for us, of course, as a young company with a new technology, it's hard at the beginning to convince someone that we have a product robust enough to build a central unit for their production machines. But we were happy to find such a partner like watttron, who had really the aim to make their products more sustainable. And they saw in us a big solution to make this happen. And of course, we had the benefit, we don't need to retrofit all the machines at the beginning. We started with a pilot machine and show them that both comes together, more sustainability in terms of using monomaterials and productivity. And this builds then, of course, the confidence to go with us or do with us a rollout also to other machines.
Also in our talks, when we discussed the topic, you mentioned quite often the topic of confidence and trust, that such a company like watttron builds trust on such a startup company, a young company from Saxony. And now taking the company perspective and the development of the company, watttron, it would be interesting to know, what do you see as a good starting base of your company in the region that helped also to fulfill such a trust or to deliver the product finally?
Yeah. At the end, it's partnership. Yeah. So we are here in Saxony in a very good environment with other companies working, let's say, also on this technology base, and so we can build partnerships helping us to make such systems robust from a pilot stage also to a serious stage. And I think that is important, that we have companies here that trusting us, working with us, building a pilot, and then that we can also help them making business together with us in a serious stage. There are Saxony, not only Saxony, also other areas around have their very great companies, and I think we are a good partner for them. This is, I think, one big base or necessary requirement to fulfill such big requirements we have from our customers.
People in Saxony tend to call watttron also like a prototype for a homegrown tech company. Do you see yourself as well as such an example?
Let's say would be cool, and that's also our aim. The idea of the founders is, of course, to build a company having really a global scale, making a global footprint. At the end, we need to, because we are an industry, the packaging industry is global. One of our first business trip when I became a CEO was to Cincinnati to Procter & Gamble. So you see that there's a direct global perspective, and but this is still the aim, having here building a company in the heart of Saxony with a global footprint.
Okay. This format is called TechTalk, so we want to discuss also technology in a comprehensive manner. And you also brought some examples of your technology with you. What's the point you like the most when you try to convince a customer with your product? What's the technological aspect you think, okay, that's my point, I make that case?
Yeah. So what's the, let's say, unique thing on this, for example, such a heater is that you have really a complete control over the heat surface you don't have today with standard systems. And this more control over this heat surface builds the base to process advanced materials. And when I talk about advanced materials, I mean materials which are fully recyclable. And this brings us to this solution for watttron, where the spout, it's called spout, is this part here in the area, and the film are from the same material, and so can be fully recycled. And this needs to be processed with such better temperature control.
Mm-hmm. And the temperature control, this is probably the core of the invention, is it? That you can pixel in the size of pixels guide the temperature to the point where it's needed?
Yeah, so we normally we describe it in a time and local defined heating. Time means that we are very dynamic, very accurate, but also local defined means the difference between the heat consumption in the spout area and the film area. And this is different, and we can control this by these pixels with a local control.
Or as you mentioned in advance, to make sure that the chocolate that needs to be packed doesn't get liquid.
Yeah, that's another approach, and I think we will see this in the video in our other example, which also shows, let's say, our approach or our development, that we are not only working with the end customers, more and more with the machine builders, and Schubert is, I think, a very good example for this.
So let's have a look.
Take of this application is the LED display, which in principle signals to the operator that the sealing element is still hot, or if it has already cooled down. Sustainable packaging, thinner films, a better sealing process. In principle, it's like a digital twin. You can just define the temperature as you want it on the film. That's the advantage. With the use of ultrasound and watttron technologies, we now have the best sealing technologies available on the market.
Now we got an impression how your technology gets integrated into such also massive machine for such a production process that's running 24 hours, 7 days a week. And they're really the tech people. They built their machines since 20, 30 years. How did you came over this second hurdle or this second biggest challenge to convince such an established machinery builder to include your tool?
A lot of talks and also a lot of pressure from our end customers, honestly. Yeah. So, no, but I think So when we want to have a global footprint, we need the cooperation with the machine suppliers, because they have already a global footprint and they are the manufacturers of such globally used machines. And I think we are there on a good track. Schubert is a good example, or where we can show how we could cooperate with OEMs. Which are the machine suppliers, but also the main event in the near future will show this, the Interpack, the trade show in Düsseldorf, where not only we have our own booth, OEMs, other machine suppliers will show watttron technology implemented in their machines and promote them, because that brings a benefit for their machines. I think that shows that also this hurdle, it was tough, but I think we are there on a good track.
It was tough. Maybe it's not a secret. How long did it take to convince Schubert?
It's an ongoing Schubert. Yeah, Schubert was. I think here it was a little bit another story, because they really had the idea to build a new kind of a machine, and we were part of this development. But let's say for other, it's still an ongoing process. But the Interpack was really a booster, also in this regard. A lot of people wanted to see something innovative, and I think this is something innovative for the packaging industry.
One can really feel that you're awaiting the Interpack about to come. We want to highlight also another aspect, the topic of sustainability, of energy saving, also with your technology. Taking the slogan from your website, you're really on a mission. You're saying we are changing the manufacturing world of tomorrow. That's quite ambitious. Can you maybe a bit elaborate or discuss a bit more where you see your technology and technology platform will also contribute to that new also circular economy?
Yeah, when we have a deeper look on this discussion about circular economy in regards of packaging, most people think about materials. Yeah, materials have to improve. Materials have to change. Our perspective on this is not only the materials; it's also the machines. The machines have to change to a machine which are able to process materials with a smaller processing window, which are at the end harder to process. And this is our mission, to make these machines enable to process such materials, and that it goes faster. Is that we are not only focusing on the new machines, we have also, like we show with the Montmartin video, we can retrofit existing machines, so we increase also the speed there to make this change.
And retrofitting machines means also to prolong the work life of these machines.
Yeah, true, but also, of course, when you want to have this big change in a very short time, you also have to think about the existing installation base, and that's why we're focusing on both, working with OEMs for new machines, but also retrofitting existing machines.
With the products that we see here on the table, but also have seen in the movies, it's about packaging. What business sectors and branches do you see also that are open for your technology and where you can make a contribution with your technology?
Yeah, so the platform, why we call it platform is, the solution is applicable for different kinds of machines within the packaging, but also other industries. And we already have projects in the biotech industry, in the semiconductor industry. So there are also processes where heat, temperature control is needed, and where our aspects of our systems or our aspects of our systems also help there to improve their processes.
Mm-hmm. Coming back to the company aspect again, people say ramping up a startup is much more difficult than starting one activity. And a key element in this growth process is qualified talent. Finding the talent here in Saxony, but also keeping it. You described at the beginning that was already in a tremendous growth path over the last 7 years, starting with 4, ending up with more than 80 people at the moment. What do you do to find the best people for your product?
It's not one activity which makes a company as a good employer. I think we have the good partnership, of course, with the university, with the research institutes, and this is, I think, also a good way to find new people. We will have opportunities, students have opportunities to work within watttron, also getting very interesting projects. Yeah, they already have some responsibilities within watttron. I think that's also attractive for them. We have systems really from we are building the systems, we are developing them, and we bring it into the machine. So someone working at watttron really sees the whole supply chain at the end in our company. But also we have, let's say, we try the best to make really a culture where we have one watttron family that starts with free coffee, with fruits to eat, but also that we have electrical cars. Employees can rent. So I think that's very important. If you have such a company, you need to be you have to build watttron as a mark, as a trademark for staff people. But I think here we have some good starting point.
And also in Saxony, from our perspective, you're a good example also for creating a new welcoming culture for international staff. People coming from other countries, that they feel home here and find an interesting job and a technological demanding job. That's also a good position. When I prepared for the talk, was a bit it took a time for me to understand it. I saw that you call yourself the wattronians or wattronians with also three T's. It's teamwork, it's transparent processes, and also the focus on technology. But indeed, the 3 T's, they come from a different aspect.
Initially, it was the 3 T's come from watt as unit for power and electronics, and that makes together the 3 T's. But we found other aspects around the 3 T's, which are also relevant for our culture.
To make it remarkable and also to always remember it when you see it. We also have the goal to get into contact with our listeners and viewers today. That's why we also have a Q&A session now. So it's open for you to ask questions to Markus Stein or Saxony Trade and Invest. About the technology, about the Interpack, about the region. So feel free to come up with questions. We give you a couple of seconds. Otherwise, I've got one in my basket as well. Okay, we give you the time. And while you are thinking about, I remember a nice story when we met your premises and visited it. You came up with the story that it was at the beginning a couple of guys from mechanical engineering that came up with founding a microelectronics company, and that I think that you try to describe that the range of technologies that you are applying that you have to bring into one product is very broad. Is there still hope for the heavy metal guys in your company?
They have enough to do at the moment, right? So when we are integrating or implementing our systems into existing machines, there's also a lot of engineering to do. But in fact, it's let's talk in some years again, maybe, yeah, and then maybe we can also think about some solutions which are not necessary to integrate into existing machines.
Okay, it's interesting path ahead. Okay, I think probably we have answered all the questions today during our tech talk and live, but also this video will be screened on our channels, on the YouTube channel, also on the LinkedIn channel of Saxony Trade and Invest. So it's up to us now to say already goodbye. We've spent 20 interesting minutes together to present an interesting technology made in Saxony with the creative mind behind Markus Stein. And so thanks to watttron, to you, Markus, to be with us here today. And we are looking forward to other tech talks to come here on this channel. And the last words are with you, Markus, and the coming important project also for your company.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. And I can invite the listeners to come to our booth at the Interpack only 2 weeks ago or away. And I think that is a major booster, as I already said, and it will be very interesting. Everyone can get some sweet products from us, packed in a mono material pouch, and can seal by themselves. So that is maybe also an interesting experience. So yeah, hope to see someone on the Interpack.
That's the final word. So hope to see you again. Follow us on our channels, watttron and also Saxony Trade and Invest. Thank you for tuning in and hope to see you again.
Thanks, Andreas. Yeah.